All right, Chris, did you go to any of these rallies this weekend?
You know, honestly, we normally would have gone, but we didn't. And honestly, we normally would have, but we didn't go. We didn't go this week. We just got caught up in other things. Otherwise, I would have loved to have gone because we love a parade, and we care very deeply about the mentally ill living among us. So we like to go and gather with them, which they do so frequently in Washington, D.C., near the Capitol and on the Mall and the White House and all this stuff. But they had their fun. They've got Soviet flags.
Really?
You were wondering where all the Soviet flags went. The Democrats have been storing them at home. They've got the red communist flag with the yellow hammer and sickle on. They've got their Hamas flags, their Hezbollah flags. There are very few American flags. They were burning those. You saw one upside down.
I saw an American flag.
Yeah, the upside down?
Interesting.
Or were they preparing to burn it? Or there might have been one Republican in the background there.
Well, there's a sign that says, "Is he dead yet?" I mean,
that is, they're advocating murdering the president of the United States. He's already been shot once and by a Democrat. And Robert De Niro, who was good as Travis Bickle in 1973 or whatever that was. Since then, he hasn't been a shining star. But this is another demonstration of violent, crazy mobs in the street, mentally ill, talking about all the people they want to murder.
Well, in Washington, D.C., just the thought of a hate Trump rally was enough to bring failed former fake news CNN anchor Jim Acosta out of the woodwork. Check out his sick reaction to a sign that a protester made about President Trump.
And then these folks were, these are some very colorful and clever signs here. It says, "Okay, cholesterol, do your job." I think I know what that means. That's very funny. It's very clever.
Yeah. I mean, is that clever, Jason, to basically wish death upon your president? I mean, you can disagree with your president, but the mere fact is that, they're saying, is he dead yet? I mean, do they want to kill him off? I mean, that's the message that's coming out of these No King rallies.
So I guess my question is, what was President Trump's message about Rob Reiner and his family when they were murdered? What was Donald Trump's message about Robert Mueller when Robert Mueller died? So, I think them saying, "Hey, come on, cholesterol," which is really a joke.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
I think when you talk about someone who was murdered,
here's somebody,
and then Robert Mueller who was killed. Hold on, Robert Mueller who died,
Jason,
who was a war hero.
He was a war hero,
and then he was like, "Good, I'm glad they're dead."
Jason,
I think that's
was at the protest. I was at it. I had to put up with it when I was on my run. I didn't realize it was happening, and I had to see it. And you know what I saw most out of any other sign, Jason? Comparing ICE to the Gestapo. Do you know what the Gestapo is? It was the police force that the Nazis employed to do the most heinous crimes, not just against the Jews, but against people with disabilities, people with that spoke out against the regime. These are people that were all put to death. They were put in death camps from the Gestapo. And that's the kind of signs that children are carrying around with their proud parents and indoctrinating them with that.
I think there are a lot of people who are upset about people being sent to CCOT and they didn't get due process. And I think there are a lot of people who are really upset about that, and they have every reason to do that.
I got to say something, though. Elizabeth, I mean, look, praise God we're in America where you can have this type of protest here in America. You can put out those disgusting signs that they had. They couldn't do this in Iran. They'd get shot. I mean, I interviewed Iranian women who were shot in the eye by the terrorist Iranian regime because they were protesting them, okay? These women, many of them raped. And here you have these idiots on the streets. At least in America, you can go and peacefully assemble, you can protest, and you can say your disgusting things that you have to say.
Yeah, I don't think that any comments the president has made in the past make it okay for people to wish death on him. I think no matter what, it's inappropriate to wish death on other Americans, and the president as well is included in that. So I think this is highly inappropriate. But I was in Palm Beach this weekend, traveled in the pool with the president, and drove through the West Palm No Kings rally, and was not surprised to see that the vast majority, maybe 95% of the people I saw were above the age of 60 out there with their signs saying.
Well, and you know what you're not going to find there? You're not going to find Cuban Americans. You're not going to find Venezuelan Americans, and you're not going to find Iranian Americans. I got to tell you, at CPAC, which talk about a diverse group of people this past weekend, they were praising the president for the actions that he's taken to help free these countries.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.